Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In these slides, we are going to learn some basics regarding Matlab. Okay. If you want to start Matlab and you are using Windows, then you can select Matlab on the uh, Windows menu. And while using Linux, and you can type Matlab on the command line, and the Matlab will open for you. Once the Matlab is open, you can see a window similar to this, and here Matlab starting window, you can see the picture of this starting screen of the Matlab. So here we have very important portion which is called command window, and in this portion you can see cursor, and all the commands goes here. You can type in your required commands, and MATLAB will function for you. So we have another important function which portion which is current directory, and all the files which you will be creating, you can see uh, in this portion. And also if you select workspace, then it is very important, and we'll be talking about the workspace later. And we have very important portion which is command history. And command history means that all the commands you are using in the command window uh, will be appearing here for your viewpoint. So on all these portions like command history and current directory and command window, they can be dock in and dock out, like as you feel is, you can use dock in and dock out. Okay, if uh, you are using MATLAB, and uh, getting help is obvious. So you are getting help on anything, and you can look up different functions. And if you want to get help on a function, then you have to type help. If you want some help on a function, then you have to type help, and then function name. All these things like help and then function name, which you are trying to get some help, you are typing these commands in the command window. And for example, you want to get some help on plot, then you will be writing help plot. This will open help uh, for the plot. And like here you can see on your screen that on the command window you have typed help find string. FINDSTR means find string. You want some help on the find string. So here you can see that what the find string is, the MATLAB is showing you, and also some function arguments and other things. And meanwhile, MATLAB is also showing you some examples on the find string. So, and also this similar functions you can also see, like see also, string find, strcmp, etc, etc, etc. Okay, and if you want to find a topic, and you instead of writing help, you can use another keyword for help, which is look for. And for example, if you want to find some help on the topic of matrix, then you can type in the command window look for topic name, like look for matrix. For example, look for matrix. Okay, MATLAB's workspace is very important place where all the variables which you are creating in your work uh, are appearing there, and you can see the current values, and all the variables, and everything about the variable. This all goes on the workspace. So we have two similar commands, like one is who and other is whose. Like it shows you the current workspace variables, and who actually shows you variable name, and whose command shows you some other detail also about those variables. And we have another command which is save workspace variables to mat file. If you want to save your workspace variables and to the mat file, then there is a command save. And we have another command which is load, and it actually loads all variables from the mat file in the workspace. Also, we have other commands like clear all, it clears or workspace variables. Once you run your file or run command, the variable goes in the workspace. And if you do not want to hold all those variables in the memory, then you can clear the workspace. And for this, you have a, uh, you have a command clear all. And also we have a command close all, which closes all the figures. And if you are using MATLAB for digital image processing, that you will be having many figures. And if you want to close all those figures, then you can use the command close all. Similarly, we have another command which is CLC, and it will clear your screen, and also CLF, which will clear all the figures. Like these two commands, like CLC and CLF, it also, these are for clearing the screen and clearing the figure. And but you really want to close the figure, then you have to use the command close. So here we have some basic commands which can be used frequently in the MATLAB. So here we have a percentage sign which is used to denote a comment. Like if you want to insert a comment line, and you will place a percentage sign first, and then you will be writing all the comments. So uh, we have another uh, thing which is semicolon, and it is for, it denotes the end of statement. Like it expresses the display of the value, and it is placed in the end of the statement. And we have we can use three dots, uh, we can use these three dots for the continue of the statement. Like you're writing in a line, and you think that this line is enough now, and you want to move your continue writing on the next line. So you will place three dots, and then you will continue writing the same statement in the next line. Okay, and we have EPS. EPS is machine epsilon. Machine epsilon, like it is machine dependent value for the floating point, and it actually a upper bound for relative error on the floating point. And so it is machine to machine, it is a different value. And we have INF infinity for infinity, and NaN for not a number. For example, 0 divided by 0, which is not a number. Okay, we can manipulate with the numbers. Like for example, we want to change the format of numbers. Like uh, we have different format. Like we have a long format, we have short format. And for all these formats, if you type help and then write format, then you will see that the how different formats of on numbers are available in the MATLAB. And then we have mathematical functions like square root of x, exponent of x, cos, sine, and summation of x, etc., etc. And the operations we can perform in the MATLAB with numbers are addition, difference, multiplication, and division. And also different it has lots of constants uh, available for you in the MATLAB, and for example, exponent 1 is a constant and pi is a constant. So we have different other constants also. Okay, arrays and matrix. MATLAB is actually very strong in arrays and matrices, and so its importance becomes very high when uh, we use MATLAB for digital image processing, that we can represent our figure in the form of arrays and matrices. And for example, we have a vector v, like if you write v equals block bracket and then some numbers and then close your bracket and then place semicolon, then it means it is a statement, and this statement is for a vector, like actually it is an array of 5 elements. And if we have a single dimensional array, like uh, we we have a single row in an array, then we can call it a vector. And actually these vectors are of two types, like one is called row vector and another is uh, column vector. So a row vector, if an matrix is only has a one row, then it is a row vector, and if your matrix has a single column, then it is a column vector. So for this you can see that this is a simple array with the 5 elements, and all these 5 elements are at the position uh, like 1 to 5. So this is a row vector with the length 5, and we can use this statement like you place bar on a v, it means that you are taking transpose of v, and then you are placing all those transpose values in the vector, in the variable v. And if you write this statement that v of 1 means it is the first element of v, like first element of v is -2, so this v of 1 will return -2. And here you can see that the arrays in MATLAB has starting index 1. So the first element is on the index 1. And if you write this statement like v from 2 to 4, like we read it 2 to 4. So if in this example the values from 2 to 4 are 3, 0, 4.5, that it will be returning the entries 3, 0 and 4.5. Similarly we can use this command like v and 3 comma 5 means that it will return the values at the index number 3 and 5. So we have you can use this, and like 4 colon -1 colon 2, it means it is same as you are writing v equals to 432. And if we have you have one variable which is which is representing the values 1 2 3, and then we have another variable b which is 2 to 3, like this column you read it 2, so from 2 to 3. So and you have a third variable which is c, and so here the entries of the c are these variables like a and b, like a is 1 to 3 and this b is 2 to, so the values will become this 1 2 3 and then for b 2 3. So it is similar. Okay. Okay, in continuation of this arrays and matrices in MATLAB, we have a function which is line space. A function which is line space, and line space actually you can give it a range like from and to, like minus pi comma 10. It means that you're starting from minus pi and you will end up in pi, and you will be having 10 elements. 10, and these 10 elements, the property of these elements 10 elements will be these 10 elements will be linearly spaced, and the range is from minus pi to pi. And similarly we have another function which is log space, and the log space you can use your range and also the number of elements you can uh, use use it as you are using in the line space. So here A is a matrix which has two rows, like first row is 1 2 3 and other row is 2 5 6. It has two rows, and the column you can see is this is first row and this is second row, and the columns will be three. So this statement, like A equals block bracket 1 2 3 semicolon 4 5 6, and this will be creating a 2 cross 3 matrix. And similarly if you write this A1 comma 2, it means the element in the row number 1 and the column number 2. So element in the row number 1 and column number 2, and this means that all values in the second column, and this means all values in the second row. Okay, so you can do matrix addition and matrix subtraction, also matrix multiplication with the scalar quantity, and also matrix multiplication. These all arithmetic functions can be performed on matrices, and this means that A dot steric B, it is an element by element multiplication, and A bar means that it is transpose of A, and which is complex conjugate transpose, like it also uh, helping out the complex numbers. And then determinant of A, like if you use this function, this is actually built-in function, you don't have to take a determinant, but you will be using this function, and this function will be returning determinant of the matrix A. Okay, if you want to create some special matrix, then we have different functions like dialog V. It will change a vector V to a diagonal matrix. If you have a vector V and you input this vector in this function, and it will return you a diagonal matrix. And diagonal A means you can get a diagonal of matrix A. You will input your matrix A in this function, and it will return you the diagonal of that matrix. And you have another IN, it is actually uh, for the identity matrix, which will be having of size n, and all zeros m comma n, like it means that it is an m by n matrix, like the size of the matrix is m cross n, and all the values in this matrix are 0. So also we can have ones like m cross n matrix, will all values of this matrix will be 1. That it we will be using this ones matrix and twos and zeros matrix where necessary.